Welcome, everyone. I am currently trying to this motherfucker hit on a flight stand so I can start the process of painting it. There. Like, you know what? At least one more ship of that shape. Well, of that basic shape. I'm gonna have to figure out how many flight stands I actually need to acquire. Um, to make it so that I have enough. But okay, so I got these ready ish to go. Those are off to the side. Thing the first that we're doing is we are going to varnish the bust that we did last time. And then I can get started. I can replace the green painter's tape on this and then mount the shippies. First, I can turn that on. And I should probably. Okay, I gotta go right here. It's nothing but a just wish. This is literally the only thing I really don't like about airbrushing is like I need to wear a glove. You will go there for the time being. Do. Next, it's going to be the fun prep steps. let's actually. Let's do this. I can feel that. I think that's part of what kept me from being live last night. Okay. So that's just gonna chill for a minute. You. Sure what you were on the bottom of, but it was probably one of these here ships. So while that is having a little soaky soak, let's start attaching ships to where they need to be attached to, including you off to the side for a minute. Orange Coop, come hither. I require you for something else. That can go over there. Oops. Bit of thoughts. Twice. Thankfully, these fucking ships are light enough. It doesn't need to go all the way out to the edge. Securely hold them. Oh, it's fine. Where the fuck did I put green shit? Oh, need a little more. What am I doing? Let me go over that way. Okay. All those ones. On my hair. Ah, there you are. Okay. Go. Nice flat surface. This much, but yeah. Yes. I don't want to fully glue these to the stem to start. I would like to be able to remove them so that I can actually get down and dirty with painting the base and the stem without having to like dodge past the ship that I've so lovingly fucking painted. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be the one I need. Rinse. Yeah, I don't see my broke ass getting any tile sets in the near future, unfortunately. At least not ones that I'm gonna have to pay money for. Yeah, I don't even have that to my name. Oh, nice. I mean, it makes sense because, people are going to want sprites that go with their tile set. And rather than being, a greedy fuck pig, okay, but GIMP is free and can be used to scale them down to 48 by 48 or 296 by 96. Fuck, I still gotta get on doing that, actually. I should make a stream out of it so I don't, keep procrastinating with it. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, as long as they work out to what they're supposed to within MZ, fucking, it should be all good. Did I thoroughly get you? Gotta make sure we're thorough. Because if we're not thorough, it's gonna be a pain in my ass. I don't like it when painting is a pain in my ass. Painting's supposed to be fun, damn it. You're not supposed to get frustrated with it. Like, sample characters to use as actors? Or just whatever you need them for? I mean, technically, any character is a whatever you need it for type thing, even if they're intended to be an actor. Okay, rinse this out. It should give these time to. Ah! Honestly, and I may be in the minority amongst people who use RPG Maker. I actually kind of like the sprite maker that they have in MZ. Um, I don't like how some of the things are set up. Like, since there's the option for animal ears, you should be able to make it so that like the non-animal ears on the model like could be removed. But like I'm sure there's a way to set it up so that can be the case. I just need to know which file to edit. And I also wish they had the option for horns. um like that the sprites themselves like on the map like the map and battle battle view. Ah, I'm pretty sure there's probably a plugin out there that will allow you to fuck with the sprite sizes. Maybe I should have been more thorough on the bases because it's gonna just use Payne's Gray over these the whole time anyway. Getting the sprite size right, or ah. One of the reasons why I've been kind of hesitant about fucking around too much with the tile sets. Yeah, that definitely does suck. Hey, I found this thing I like. Oh, hey, I can't get this thing I like anymore. Ah, okay. Oh, gotta do base on that one too. Don't you be like that. Oop. This time is before you've been running through the mind since you crawled out of the zone. Second in man's all the running from the yards. And come on. Yep. Hopefully, I will extend it just enough to do what I need it to. Still too low to use that, but come on. You'd be falling over. You know? All of them have been primed. And base coated, and there's just a couple that I need to do some touch ups on that base coat. Which is nice. Unfortunately, these six are the only ones that are going to be able to get the be able to look like they are going to look, because I am out of Payne's Gray. Or at least pretty much out of Payne's Gray. Wunderbar. Oh, yeah, I have to deal with that before I do anything else. I will be pissed off at myself if I forget this. It's going to be a pain in the ass the next time I need to use my airbrush if I don't clean this now. Oh, damn you. That's off the rim. That's that soak a little bit. Okay, which one is calling out to me to start on it first? I think this guy is going to be. This is going to be a pain. I'm going to have to be so careful with this off the hop. Forgot how much of a pain in the ass it is to paint metal. And this is why a lot of people actually disliked Battlefleet Gothic. Because all of the minis were metal, basically, when it came out. And then for a while they made like the cruisers were plastic, but like your battleships and stuff like that were all metal. So it was also a pain in the fucking ass. I have to figure out where I put the rest of my BFG stuff. Can't exactly remember where they are, and I need to find all. Because I want to make sure I have it all consolidated and whatnot. But probably start with you. So I'm debating. I have a couple of options from here. Uh, the lightning one would be easier said than done. Hmm. Ooh, the next one I think I'm gonna do Indian Red. Yeah, that's super opaque, and it's actually a really, really nice, like an iron red. So, starting with this kind of blue black, we're gonna go. I guess I do have. Yeah, this one has some white in it that I could use, but I don't. I'm not comfortable with how well I would be able to freehand lightning. So what we're gonna do is we are going to do up the nebulae. Nebulae? The spaceship's gonna have space pattern. So we're gonna use this brush that I don't really use. Not a big fan of the Gadzooks brushes. Shock, surprise. Um, I'm gonna do. Come on. Ah! I am basically out of white. That's no bueno. Also no bueno. Where the fuck did my stippling brush go? I'm confused. And also displeased. I guess I'll. Okay. Star pattern. Not gonna work because I don't have the paint that I need to do it. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one, I think. That would be partially why. I am still slightly miffed that one of my brushes is kind of missing at the moment. Ooh, I gotta be careful with that. That actually worked really well. I'm digging that. Ow. It's gonna end up like hurting my thumb. I'm gonna have a bruise by fucking end of stream, I think. Lino! How's things? And also, thank you very much for that resub. I appreciate your continued support and generosity. I'm just beating myself up over here to put some stars on some spaceships. Also, realizing how much I dislike painting metal models already. Well, until you get to like I don't know, the third layer or so, yeah, they're 100% a pain in the ass. Just simply because if you breathe on them fucking wrong, you will rub paint off. Hence why one of my ships just doesn't have paint on a small part of it because I decided to try and test how cured the fucking base layer was. Stupidly. I should have just assumed it wasn't. Even with using primer. Because the first thing I sprayed on these tonight was the primer, the gray. I don't know if you were like actively watching while I was spraying them. Um, like even with primer, you in order to keep it basically solid, you need to you have to varnish. Otherwise it will end up rubbing off. You weed like your fingers were numb. That sounds like something you'd pick up a an ointment for, like a specialized ointment for the at a doctor. There we go. That also could have been with the lead from the walls too. Fuck. I back when I still actually used Facebook on at least the semi-regular. Um, I ended up buying a bunch of like pre-loved BattleTech minis, and one of them was an old white metal mini from like the FASA days. And like as I'm like, okay, so what is it? It's like an old wolfhound, I think. I was like, what is this? There's one person's like, you need to throw that out. It's made of lead. And all I could think is, once I have enough layers of paint on it, it's not gonna matter what it's fucking made out of. Like, seriously. Once I have that varnish coat on, no matter how much I touch that fucking miniature, I'm not gonna get lead poisoning. The whole lead paint thing wasn't because, the walls were made of lead and they were painted over. It's there was lead in the fucking paint. Because fire retardant? Maybe? I think that's what it was in there for. Help buildings be less flammable. Oh, it was there for your opacity. That's entirely fair. But I mean, it could have used various iron oxides for that, and it would have probably worked just as well and been far less, I don't know, toxic. there's no reason to get that titanium white would get banned. My only issue working with inks is and airbrush is sometimes it makes airbrush cleaning a pain in my ass. Now, I'm surprised they don't have an aluminum white. Because isn't that basically what aluminum oxide is color wise? Is basically white. Well, I guess it's closer to a gray. Okay. Well, here's hoping I did a good enough job. It would probably be frowned upon by certain companies if I were to say use some of the thermal plastic that I have to create a mold of some ships so that I could like make more out of epoxy sculpt, wouldn't it? Or make more out of two-part resin. BFG. It would definitely be frowned upon by one certain company because they generally don't like their stuff being casted by other people, even if it is out of print. I think they're trying to considering bringing back something BFG like. Um, although that's been like the rumor for fucking years now, so last I heard it was going to be some sort of it was going they were going to use the BFG rules, but it was going to be more along the lines of like Horus Heresy era. That was the last rumor about it that I'd heard. So for the Nebula colors, I think we're gonna go with Nathal Crimson. I mean, probably. Honestly, if I was gonna do it, I would be making sure I was using my chaos ships that I already have built. Well, built, quote unquote. I would end up actually using the one that I have magnetized. Because they're cruiser scale ships, and I have so many escorts that I don't need anymore. Like, I have the six that I'm working on now, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I have 31 escorts. Just kind of, sitting here. If I wanted to, I could probably make a fucking reasonable sized fleet out of just escort squadrons. Like, I would probably be able to hit the point level of most, like, regular games. I wouldn't do it because there would be you'd get fucking steamrolled probably. I don't know actually, because lances are strong and chaos escorts have both lance and fucking gunboats, as well as torpedo boats. If I remember correctly, I'd have to look at the book, but could actually be rather gross. Hmm. Um, so we're gonna use Nathal Crimson, Rosa Cyan, and Purple Lake as the nebulae colors. And we're going to use the Army Painter large dry brush to put most of this on. As part of the goal here is we want it kind of wispy. So we want something kind of soft. That one last, because that was the last one that I had done. Ah, for fuck's sakes. So, what we need to do, and this is going to end up being a pain in my ass, for any that don't want to properly stick. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just glue it. It's not like I'm going to have a hard time painting the bottom of the ship or the base. The ones that want to be an asshole, I'll just fucking glue them and be done with it. So, oh, this is gonna be another one I'm gonna fucking glue. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight it. I am not in the mood for that battle today. Okay. The rest of them don't seem to be loose, so that will be fine. That will be fine. Very fine. Yes. Alright. The red. Okay. There's that. That works. Let's do that. We're going to go with the process cyan next. Ow. Give this one a nice good mix up. Make sure it's all fully incorporated. That process cyan in there. And with ban and we deny. Okay. Like on the tabletop, these are actually going to look fucking awesome. Not that I'll get a chance to see them on the tabletop all that often, because like nobody around here plays dead games. Be the the blue, the cyan, okay. Now we're gonna go with some purple lake as a darker color to kind of try and bring some of that back a little bit, which is why I did the cyan in the middle because it is a much lighter color. Um, and it's actually one of the reasons why when I'm doing like a star pattern like this, I like to do three different colors because that way it kind of lets me balance it a little bit easier. You or a maybe. Just use you. I'm gonna put you back on the stack. I swore I secured you. Apparently, I did not secure you very well. Oh, shit. I have to remember, I don't need to, like, ah, go overboard. I just need to make sure that, there's some kind of just spread amongst. Because, like, I'm picturing these ships weren't painted up for camouflage purposes. It's more for, like, I guess camouflage could be one of the reasons why they're in universe painted like this. But I would like to think it's more aesthetics than anything else. Um, Actually, I kind of want to strip the despoiler that I have and repaint it. Because that would be super fun to paint again now that I'm better at painting. Okay. So we're gonna need to start with some metallics. I think this time I'm going to use the Vallejo model color metal blue. At least for these six. Because I think it will I think it'll look good on these. I need to do something for you this. I need. Oh, actually, I don't even need a full one of those. Because, like, part of what needs to be done for this to make it look right is I need to have stars in front of these clouds too, because, like, those those nebulae are really fuck off far away. So smattering of stars in front of them. Part of my hand. Pardon me. You know what? I'm not going to worry about the bottom. Because that's going to be just too much of a pain in my ass. Okay, so now we're going to utilize this. Just put a little bit of the metallic on the tray at a time. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that the scale for these are is what it is. If the scale would like if it was a much bigger scale, it'd be a pain in the ass. Like there would be a lot more detail to deal with on these. Well, maybe not these ones specifically because these are older. Actually, no. There would be a lot more detail on these ones because like this was back from when GW was a little bit more detailed oriented in their like side pieces than they were their like mainline games. Because you look at the Space Marines from this time period, like when these were produced, and comparatively to now, they were rather bland and boring. Okay, now the underside. Now, gonna be the fun part. Bits in the middle. Yeah, the regardless of the Horus Heresy, the Imperium never should have shifted away from these ship designs. They were much cooler looking. The like Imperial Navy ship designs that made it to the 41st millennium are kind of bleh, to be honest. Don't get me started on the fucking ugly ass Space Marine ships. Like, I know you don't need aerodynamics in space, I get it. But still, those ships are ugly as fuck. Like, oh, okay. But I might be, maybe I'm being a little harsh, but they have like no personality. While there is not a lot of detail on these ships, there's enough detail to be just kind of annoying. Like, it's not, I'm gonna paint this for competition type detail, but it's, if I don't paint it and, like, pay attention to the detail, it's gonna look bad. Amount of detail. If that makes any sense at all. And even if it doesn't, that's how I'm phrasing it. Pretty sure those bits on the end are supposed to be like probably like sensors and communications crap. Because these don't generally have a lot of guns on them. Being as they are the smallest class of ships. Let's move on to doing the blue metal on the next one. You. And Painting those guns is going to be a pain. Be a pain. Fucking stray hair. I think a lot of the turrets I'm going to have to do as metallic along with the barrels, which is fine. I can make that work. Um, it'll just be slightly annoying. Got to do the ribs on the top of the back, and then I can move on to the next one. Happen. Where'd I put you? Do metallics on you. A lot of spots, which I'm okay with that. Those I can do slightly differently, and I kind of dig that. That's as it should be. Those would be torpedo bays on the top of that rather than something like lances. That being said, they could beat lances, but I'm pretty sure the lances would be on the other ones. For escort class ships, chaos ships have a ridiculous amount of firepower. Alrighty, so it's just the ones in the back that I gotta do now. And then we're gonna switch metallics and we're gonna start painting weapons. Or I might switch back to non-metallics and start painting where like the lights are gonna be. That is another option. Because like the bridge is going to be effectively the same spot on all of these. Back the fuck here. Um, there we go. This might answer my question of where the, or it'll just take too long and I have to figure out something else. Images. Okay, yeah, it's that bit at the back. Which is basically as I thought. Those are 100% ripped from the game. Sorry, I'm looking at some images right now to get a little bit of inspiration. But ooh, fun. Let's go with some orange. And I don't mean that like sarcastically. I mean that sounds like fun. Yeah, that's it. So this is the bridge section back here. Where am I going to actually put? Actually, I have an idea of where it's going to go. That's fair. And to be honest, that's my experience with most games where I have to like, or where I start looking for something specific. That one's not going to have a visible bridge, I don't think. This one. Be up there. This one. Even if that's not where it's supposed to be on this, that's where it's going to be. That's going to be another one that doesn't necessarily have a bridge. Or like a visible bridge. Um, let's start looking at lights. I never really got too deep into Minecraft. Um, it was one of those games that like it should be within my wheelhouse in one of the games, like the type of game that I really get into, but I was never really able to like it never really caught me, as it were. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I started playing and really enjoyed Dwarf Fortress and like RimWorld and games like that is because I am really good at building stuff. It's just I think the way that Minecraft goes about the building is I think what didn't necessarily catch me. Or maybe it's the like scale of building in games like Dwarf Fortress or RimWorld because like personally my favorite out of the two would be Dwarf Fortress. Um for a couple of reasons. At the same time, there are a couple of things that I kind of like about RimWorld better than Dwarf Fortress. Like RimWorld, you actually have control over your fucking duders. With Dwarf Fortress, you just basically tell your duders what needs to be done and let them decide whether or not they're actually going to do it. But I mean, RimWorld doesn't give you access to multiple Z levels, which is my big thing that where I kind of become disappointed with RimWorld because yeah, you can strip mine an entire level of a map, but you can't go up or down, which you would think with the level of technology you have when, coming off of when landing on a world or crash landing from a spaceship on a world where you can build fucking honestly if they haven't by now they won't because if you look at a game like Dwarf Fortress, which RimWorld was one of the major inspirations for RimWorld, they've had that in a way more fit stable form than RimWorld has ever been for for fucking technically decades now. Like if they were going to implement it, honestly, they would have by now. There would be nothing stopping. They may be odd, but well, like here's the thing. If they're gonna release it down the line, they're gonna end up releasing it as DLC and charge money for it for something that should be a core gameplay mechanic. Like, which honestly, to me, that comes across as kind of scummy. But yeah, I highly doubt that. Like, I'm not going to hold my breath that they're going to release multiple Z levels. Because, like I said, it's either never going to happen or they're going to do it and it's going to be such a scummy way that I won't want to associate with it anyway. Like, but that's also coming from me being the having like little to no faith in most companies. So, you're gonna have to like be a little bit more specific than that because there have been a few games that have come out or have been planned or announced that have fit that description. Ah. Oh, nice. Ah, fucking punching cameras again. That's how you burn yourself out. I never said I was a good streamer. Ah. Alrighty. I think though, I've been going for like 2.5 hours now. I'm gonna call it here. I got a lot of progress done tonight. I'm very proud of the amount of work that I've done. So I have to finish up the bases. I have to do some more, probably. I think I'm just going to use some of the transparent colors that I have and just do some light dry brushing and hope that the stars that are on there kind of shine through. I need to do all of the weapons on all of the ships. They're going to be done in my darker metallic that I have, like my dark metallic gray that I have. Then what I need to do is I need to decide whether or not I want to put the facing markings on all of the bases as well, which could be interesting. Because like all of the like scaling and measuring and stuff like that technically come from the center of the base, like where the stem is, because like the ship at the scale technically that BFG is simulating, the ships themselves are the tip of the stem type deal, like one that'll come off without too much hassle. Like that's how big the ship actually is. Is like that little bit there. So I'm gonna hit button. Then we are gonna come over here. I'm gonna hit the snoozy button. Now let's. Oh, that's the wrong Chrome window. Boop. Actually, let's take a quick look at that right now. I mean, it looks kind of cool. It definitely looks kind of cool. Let's hit the raid button. Turf the tunes. Let's